thing's for sure. Letho's not on this side of the fall.
If you wanted to pursue the assassin, you should have gone to Hensel's camp with Roach.
Just because I went after Triss doesn't mean I've forgotten about Letho.
Why do you care so much? It's not your coop or your chickens.
My reputation's a little more important than hens in a coop. Until I find Letho, I'll be considered a murderer.
No one thinks you're a kingslayer.
You're dead wrong. They treat me well because they need me. That could change in an instant.
You're probably right. Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'll decide once I've heard him out, learned the truth. Maybe I'll see his point. Or maybe I'll just cut off his head. My memory's coming back. It's just bits and pieces so far, but I can feel them coming together, forming a whole.
What have you remembered?
A voyage, an endless trek south. I was following Yennefer in the wild hunt. No idea how long. It got cold. Only old people were left in the villages I passed through, but they all refused to tell me what happened to the young, to their children. I finally pressed a man for information. He blamed it on wolf packs, on an outburst of drowners and rot fiends. No one mentioned the wild hunt.
Did you catch up to the hunt?
I don't know.
Got anything you can follow?
I'm looking. You once mentioned some elven poems about the hunt.
I believe I said they could exist, and they'd be old. I don't know any, but look around. You're pretty good at finding things.
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I believe I'll find Triss, alive.
And Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. Yorvith seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
You're an idiot. Saskia's giving Yorvith a chance. If he uses it well, he'll finally be able to emerge from that hole in the ground he's been living in for years. That's the least of it. If he plays his cards right, he can win everyone's respect. People only remember what they want to remember.
I suppose you're right. A free state in the Pontar Valley could turn Yorvith from a brigand into a knight.
Which is why it's useless to wonder why he's changed. I wouldn't trust him with my child. But who knows what he'll become?
Is it my imagination, or have you become a propaganda mouthpiece for the court?
You know what I really like about this place? There is no court. People are with Saskia because they want to be, not because they have to or should be.
You have a tendency to go from one extreme to the other.
And you have a tendency to shit on every ideal, even the most noble.
I try to take an objective view of the world.
Yet you've joined us. You have, haven't you?
I'm on Vergen's side, but this time.
Don't want to commit, eh? Well, Vergen isn't some whore you can just screw and forget.
I just want to make sure that woman named Vergen doesn't end up screwing me.
Let me see if I understand your position correctly. Kiss my right cheek, kiss my left cheek. Just don't kiss me on my butthole.
Whenever I see that stupid romantic spark in your eyes, I just know I'll have to haul your ass out of some new swamp very soon.
Oh, screw you and your help. Lots of humans, dwarves, even elves around here would follow me into fire.
I hope you're right about that. I found a volume of your poetry.
I love poems. Some bastard stole them recently. Probably wanted to show off to a young lass smelling of sheepskins. Really missed this book. It was like being in a brothel with no bowls. I owe you one, Geralt, though I don't know quite how I would pay you. No, actually, I do know. Up for a shot of vodka? It's on me.
I've got a better idea.
Beer? That's fine. All the same to me.
I need you to do me a favor.
Name it. For this, I'd give you my chastity. If I still had it, of course.
I wouldn't be interested.
Don't tell me you need another poem for a noon wraith.
Worse.
Please, Geralt, don't get me involved in another messy monster matter. I'm an artist, not...
That's precisely who I need to lure a succubus.
Are you crazy? You want to see a hoofed hag ride me to death? On the other hand, we all have to die of something.
Go to the burned down village after dark and wait for me there.
Like these balls!
Another one. You let one human in and in no time...
How can I help? How can I...
help?
How can I help? I think I've heard of it.
Don't try anything.
Can we go? I can't wait to meet this monstrous beauty.
Her beauty's killed several men.
Now you tell me.
Like my friend Dandelion says, we all have to die of something. I'll have my eye on you at all times.
So will she.
Don't let her kiss you.
I don't usually deny women foreplay, but I'll do my best.
Let's do this.
Well, how should we begin? If our bodies could a song compose, we'd admire our virtues, me yours and you mine. I could pet your cheeks. You might twiddle my nose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No, that didn't come out right. If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or treat it as a morsel upon which to dine. No, that didn't come out right. If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, we'd admire our virtues, me yours and you mine. I could pet your cheeks. You might twiddle my nose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No, that didn't come out right. If our bodies could a song compose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No, that didn't come out right. Pearls before swine, I swear. I'll tell you one thing, Geralt. That succubus knows true art about as well as Zoltan knows table manners. Can we go?
Her
now...
Like, I'll have...
So,
Don't...
I don't...
Let's do...
well, how should we begin? If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No, that didn't come out right. If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or treat it as a morsel upon which to dine. No, that didn't come out right. If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, we'd admire our virtues, me yours, and you mine. I could pet your cheeks. You might twiddle my nose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No, that didn't come out right. If you wish, my love, at my side to repose, we'd admire our virtues, me yours, and you mine. I could pet your cheeks. Or treat it as a morsel upon which to dine. No. If our bodies could a song compose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or grasp me elsewhere and leave me satisfied. No. If our body... My heart would... Or...
Who are you, gorgeous one?
I'm a poet, milady. I've come to praise your unearthly beauty, if you'll do me the honor of revealing your full self.
Indeed. I shall reveal to you all my splendors. Prepare more than your eyes. I am a feast for all the senses. Come with me for the adventure of your life, fair poet.
I should get Geralt. On the other hand, I've never plowed a succubus.
I am so unsatisfied. Lovers who compose poems praising my virtues. Delightful. But I've never...
She showed me her secret den.
Thanks. I'll take it from here.
I feel like a pimp. At least let me watch.
Save your strength for real women, Dandelion.
Damn. And it all looks so promising.
I don't remember inviting you, Geralt of Rivia.
How do you know my name?
I know a lot about you. You know how to satisfy women. I can make a man forget his worries and surrender to pure pleasure. You'll be well satisfied, I promise.
Like all the other men you murdered?
I've murdered no one. All who followed me experienced unearthly pleasures.
You devour their energy like a swine gobbles spuds.
I need their vital energies. I have no use for corpses.
So if it wasn't you, who killed those young men?
I can seduce anyone and hold them spellbound for as long as I wish. Unfortunately, one fool fell madly in love with me. Unable to accept my nature, he's killing my lovers.
Who is this lover of yours?
A beautiful elf named Elias.
He asked me to investigate the murders.
His way of throwing you off his scent. Luckily, you're no fool.
The very reason I think you're trying to throw me off your scent.
Did he show you the victims' bodies?
He told me they were buried.
By him. Yet he massacred the corpses first to make it seem as if beasts had attacked the poor souls. I'm content to have you looking into the matter. Just be sure to see it through.
I'll talk to him, then I'll come back.
I hope we can seal our friendship then. You're back.
Why should I help you?
I want men to know that I give pleasure in return for their energy. But I don't take their lives. Besides, I can give you something far better than Orange.
Take that. Found the succubus.
Did you kill her?
She claims you're the murderer.
You were supposed to kill the monster, not chat with it.
I know what I'm supposed to do.
I don't think so, not if you believed her.
You lied to me. You knew a succubus had made its lair in the burned-down village.
I did. I thought you'd refuse to help me if I told you.
You're right. I don't help murderers.
That is pure nonsense. I killed no one.
Liar. You fell in love with her and murdered your competitors. Succubi aren't exactly the most faithful partners.
True, I love her, but the rest is hogwash.
If I'd killed the succubus, no more men would have perished and you'd have gotten away with it.
You don't understand. She manipulated me like she's manipulating you.
Yorvith will learn of this. You'll hang for your crimes.
You're mad. I'm innocent.
You're back, yet the elf still lives.
You lie. You'll never torture anyone to death again.
I was hoping we'd have another kind of fun.
The succubus is dead.
Thank you. I'm glad you did not give her story credence. The world is much better off without that whore. I promised you a reward and I keep my word. Here are your orans. And take this sword. May it serve you well. Goodbye, Witcher.
Look, another one. You let one human in.
How can I help?
I heard human women. He travels full of monsters.
Hello, Witcher. How are things, Geralt?
Would you be kind enough to move that ass of yours? The Witcher's on board. We can go. Let's get to work, my bearded friends. Open the shaft, Skags. If you kill off those monsters, the whole of Vergum will be grateful. I'm sure some coin will be found.
We'll keep that in mind, Session.
So, Sheldon, you opened the shaft yet?
Keep your pricks in your trousers. You can't just plough forward all the time. A mine is like a lover. You need to be gentle, so she accepts you moist and hard.
You and your music, Sheldon.
We'll wait here, Geralt. Poor son of a bitch. Almost got away.
Belly full, axe sharpened, and liquor awaits. Ready for battle. I think I heard something.
That was close.
What was that?
Necrophages. With this many appearing, they must have a nest nearby.
Come on! Show yourselves! I'll let you taste my axe! Even then, they'd stick less than you. To arms!
You wet your wet recently, Witcher.
you wet your lip recently, Witcher?
I wouldn't mind a drink about now. Did you break wind? Oh, if I had, you'd be begging me to kill you. This place stinks of rotting corpses.
They're coming.
Grab what we need and get out of here. Right, Geralt. Looks like it's all over.
Thanks for your help, Sultan.
Say nothing of it. Enough yapping. Time for some vodka.
First, I want to see if my fuck date's still waiting.
Just don't strain yourself. It takes energy to drink with us too, you know.
Eh? That's a witcher, not a human.
You hugged a bear or what? Witcher,
What is it?
you were looking for the sorceress Philippa. I found her. She's now back home.
Thanks.
So, one minute and one.
We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrin will get the same.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, has been of interest to sorcerers. It's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town. See you, Governor.
You wanted to discuss something?
I found an immortelle.
Excellent. You wanted to discuss something?
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
Two of Letho's comrades, probably those responsible for Demoven's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Yorvith, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Sheila ordered Letho and Triss killed.
I can't believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheila? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demoven's son.
Why?
The Dragon Slayer's servant is spreading rumors that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Where's the prince?
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. The fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
Dogs growl at cats. Cats hiss at the dogs. A noble's a wolf to a peasant.
Forget those animalistic similes and take care of it. I'll try to locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.
What's this? Clad in hues of green.
Aboard Skoyatel waiting in ambush.
So it's really haunted. It is. They should make it a month.
They say someone cast the spell, and the Virgin fails.
The commoners claim it's our prince's doing.
Such judgment is above their station. I believe it's Henselt's property.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side.
Humans only care how their asses rise at a station.
Geralt! It's good to see you.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
What's stopping them?
The knights, Adernian noble lords.
Not easy to raise a hand against a blue blood.
A peasant by the name of Calton was at the council. He didn't seem to respect anything or anyone.
Calton's a blackguard. He'll use any excuse to raid and plunder.
He has a taste for noble blood. They say he buries gold looted from the lords in some gorge. Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Skill and Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yorveth!
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons. I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Stennis and Olcan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Calton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off! We need to act quickly.
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Humans only care how their asses rise as their stations do.
They're playing into Henselt's hands. If they start at each other's throats, we'll have to face the entire amount of Tywin alone.
You can't mix water.
Can we have a word?
Why not? I'm Ogden, a founder. I cast mugs, plates, chalices. You need any, Witcher?
No thanks. The tableware in the council chamber is your handiwork?
It is. Made it back in Mayor Farragut's time. Since then, each and every goblet has hit the floor dozens of times, and what happened? Nothing, because they're steel. My goblets are indestructible, impervious to both the fury of sovereigns and servants who are all thumbs.
Saskia's chalice was new.
Aye, it was. Back in Mayor Farragut's day, a venture Saskia was no more than an itch in her da's breeches.
Who ordered the goblet from you?
That goblet was a gift. A way for the folk of Vergen to pay tribute to Saskia. I got the honor of casting and presenting it to our lovely leader. The lass liked it so much, she's not used any other vessel since she received it.
Was the order for a normal goblet?
Not a chance. It was supposed to be a gift. I ornamented it richly, even on the inside. Not terribly practical, that, as it's hard to get clean. Some scum is bound to remain. But I wanted it looking downright regal, worthy of our Saskia.
The other chalices were not ornamented on the inside?
Course not.
Any chance there could have been two identical goblets?
Why, there's no craftsman that comes close to me in Vergen.
Could someone have tried to copy your handiwork?
Ha! I know of one who's been trying for years, but he's a fumbler, a screw-up. He's not produced one decent vessel. They all look like the work of a drunken elf. Thorax, his name.
See you at the inn. We'll grab a beer.
This is
Saskia could.
What would the
And
prince
you see what
gain
they
with the
did to
virgin's
her?
death?
Give
I can
us
tell
this
you what he
horsepower!
Things look
Say,
bad.
Witcher, come
the
over
peasants
here.
are furious. They finally have a chance to strike back for all the wrongs.
The noblemen won't yield.
They're a cowardly lot.
They know their heads will follow Stennis's.
It's a deadlock, with the prince's guilt still to be proven.
Yarpin says it's someone from Edirn. Sheldon, on the other hand, would shave his beard if it's not Hensel's spies.
Has Yarpin got any evidence?
No, Yarpin's an old cook and says he's got a feeling. Plowing soothsayer.
He might be right with those feelings. After all, not just anyone can pass through the Wraith's mist. It has to be someone local.
So it never crossed your mind that Hensel might have sent someone here before those ghosts appeared?
Why would Sheldon suspect Henselt?
He'd sooner reach an agreement with Stennis than Saskia. Her death would be very convenient.
Zoltan?
I'm wondering how anyone could manage to poison the wine. Saskia's a quick-witted lass. She doesn't let just anyone near. Someone she knew must have done it.
Anyone reached the prince in his chamber?
Not even close. The nobles guard him like a matron does her ward's hiney.
If the rabble slaughters the prince, there'll be no stopping them. They'll start doing things their own nasty way.
That's why the nobles will support the prince even if they believe he's guilty.
I'm sure Stennis' hands are dirtier than a peasant girl's fucked in a barn.
Roll it down, you surly dog! You'll change your tone when we put a sick...
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He'd better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets. Throwing their weight about too much they are.
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones. What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Edirn.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage, but he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal, our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough down on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
Farewell.
Give us this horsepower!
Rolling dung, you surly dog!
Change your tone when we put a sickle to your throat.
Save your threats for your hog-smelling...
I'd gladly hear your opinion on the situation.
Finally, someone It's obvious Henselt bribed some serf, who then did what he was told.
That's interesting.
Just think it through. The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight. Only the servants touched the decanters, and who are they? Commoners. Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the nobles and the prince.
Something to think about.
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia? Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
No need to poison the wine. Smearing the poison inside the chalice would be enough.
I never heard of anyone poisoning a chalice.
You haven't heard much, then. One of the Emperor's forebears died after sampling some lamb. He was always scared of poison and ate supper with his cook. The murderer spread poison on one side of a knife. Then he cut the meat so that only a small piece was poisoned.
The witch is right. Give us Stennis.
Saskia's got her own chalice.
It was commissioned from one of the dwarves. The order came with a very detailed drawing.
Even so, how did it come into Saskia's hand?
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanting to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Bergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they wanted, nobody but Stennis could do it.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edern? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edern, can judge me. Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure, and royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
There goes the PC. Big bird and her capita.
She will grant us market.
I don't know. I had a dream. We were mining up at the face of the drive like in the old days.
I remember you were excited working the finger.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
The mist is full of wraiths.
I'll help you. I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
We still need royal blood.
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Kingslayer?
Look, another one.
How can I help? How can I help?
I heard human women will always sit astride.
Don't try anything.
I got a serious career proposal yesterday.
From one of your best friends.
And you, my love, do you trust the girl?
Greetings. Shove off!
And you, my love, you trust the girl?
Saskia. I trust him, and he trusts me.
I don't think
Hello.
How do you see it? Do the gods favor Lady Saskia as she...
Damnation!
Take care.
Strange aura.
Oh, oh. Oh.
Nothing interesting.
After the war, I shall go home, grow a beard, and buy a dog. Oxen and jack way to a dog.
I think you've an agitated spirit. You won't stay long in one place.
So it's really haunted?
Greetings.
It is. They should make it a mandatory pilgrimage for young clerics. They'd truly believe in the afterlife after seeing that.
How do such places come to be?
Thanks for the help.
This one. Greetings.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time.
How can I help? See you again.
I hate caring women.
Give us a kiss.
Stride a man's pants for the bellies to
The place is busy like never before. Fancy taking on a dwarf? That witcher, who's he?
He travels the land, stealing monsters from Queen. Sorcerers mutated
You're tough as Mahakam steel. The prize money is yours. Fancy
Rock, no matter the direction. That's how it is these days. Mages have descended from their towers and installed themselves at court. A mage, a dwarf, even worse, a sorceress. You don't mention the song. Got to handle it to the hags.
You're tough as...
Sabrina Clevercy found the table with a fist.
I can see that you're up. No orange, no red. And there goes my trade with Kedwin.
The mine's safe again. Any plans to do something with it?
Of course. Soon as the battle's done, we'll resume digging. Shame to let those rich deposits go to waste. My uncle says they'll put Vergen right back on its feet. Zoltan's talking about a shared enterprise or some such. He's to manage operations with my uncle as general overseer. We just got to save the town first. Thought we had a basilisk in the basement. Turns out it's just my wife gate.
Lots going on around here.
Aye. A virgin dragon slayer. Squirrels dazzled with her. Politicking peasants, witches and a witcher. Onlookers gawking at the whole thing.
Hope things get back to normal soon.
Geralt, first throat of the Witcher's Guild. Finally, a drink with someone worth talking to.
Short on company?
What can Yarpin tell me? I prefer listening to horses fart.
Any idea where I can play dice around here?
Try the blacksmith's helper. I'll arm wrestle you anytime. Now, even.
What's the squirrel leader's name? Had you read it before, you'd be dead. The only reason to stop now see it in his eyes. Maybe he thinks he's made a mistake.
Your hand's like a vice.
It wasn't easy.
If you ever run into my old mates Yarpin or Sheldon, promise me you'll take them on. They'll be surprised.
I wanted to talk to you about the Free State of Vergen. We haven't had the occasion somehow.
True.
Do you buy into Saskia's ideals?
Are you asking me if I believe what she says, or if I believe she'll be successful?
Both.
Saskia's no liar, that's a fact. But whether we'll manage, who can tell? One thing is sure, we'll never know if we never try. For now, a great battle awaits. A battle in which elf, dwarf, and human will stand side by side. And that is beautiful in itself.
It's also the biggest potential weakness.
Nothing unites folk like shared death. I believe those who survive will honor the deaths of their comrades.
If they win.
Even if they don't. News spreads fast. Others will follow in our footsteps.
The Kingslayer's trail has gone cold. Have you heard anything?
No one could sneak into Bergen. We watch day and night. Anyway, who would they come for here? Stennis? Why so keen on capturing the assassin of kings?
Letha knows a lot about me. Certain things maybe only he can explain.
Is it worth sticking your neck out to know what was in your head before?
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. The king...
No one... Why so...
Letha was guilty of 2 regicides. I want to know why he did it. Or rather, for whom.
What's the difference?
Witchers don't step into political quagmires for no reason.
Every king has so much shite under his collar that taking a knife to his throat is always justified.
I don't care for the principles that govern the world, but I have yet to hear any better ideas. Murdering kings solves nothing. Quite the contrary. Yorvith seems to have...
Oh, has his arse grown fatter in Saskia's keep?
An elf who was the greatest foe of humans will now fight for their freedom. Doesn't that surprise you?
Only harpies don't change their minds. I'm no expert on elves, but as I see it, he's got a stiffy for Saskia.
Yorvith?
He stood all gentle as a lamb in council, stealing glances at her tits. When she spoke to him, he looked as happy as a fool whittling a wooden toy.
Bergen seems like an ancient town. Do you know its history?
It's one of the mining colonies Mahakam established. There were lots of them just 500 years ago. Now they're mostly in ruins. It was the first town where dwarves and humans began working side by side. For the past 3 years, it's been a symbol of our common death.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got a swarm. And I heard.
Greetings!
Don't try anything.
Don't bump your woman.
only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
So,
Morning. I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords. Care to browse through my wares? Beautifully crafted. May a chinchilla piss on me.
You play dice?
Aye. Us two and the smith's apprentice.
And that's it?
In Vergen, there's also the headman, Cecil Burden, and the innkeeper. But they won't play unless you prove your worth. Which you could by beating us.
Another time.
Care for a game of...
You wanted to discuss something?
There's proof that the Wild Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Something that would interest mages, you'd think.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect, the product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life...
Paranormal phenomena interests Cynthia, my intern. Take this up with her.
Your friend Sheila is conniving with Henselt.
I know this, Witcher, but it's no cause for concern. Sheila is there to ensure Henselt doesn't fall prey to the same people who killed Foltest. We don't want him as sovereign of the Pontar Valley, but we also don't need Kedwin to descend into civil war.
I found one of the ingredients for Saskia's cure.
Show me. Interesting. Getting warmer, but still not there. It's as if I'd sent you to get me the sun and you'd brought me a candle. We need something massive, an item of real power, Geralt. This is a dwarf's dream. Stolen and magically encased in this crystal. It would do if it was stronger.
You know what this means? In addition to normal harpies, there are Solano in the area.
Solano?
Dream snatchers. The only harpy species to develop something resembling intelligence. They magically bind dreams to mountain crystals. I heard they once inhabited this area. Solano live among regular harpies, but their lair should be full of stolen dreams. One of those would be powerful enough, I'm sure.
You'd have to enter the harpy lair through the quarry. Unfortunately, the gate to the caves is locked and Cecil Burden won't open it. I asked him on another occasion. Stubborn as a mule, that one. But we must not relent. Saskia clings to life by a thread. Let me show you the desire contained in this particular dream. Don't be hasty to judge.
Yes, I can feel it. Whose dream is it?
Cecil Burden's.
In that case, I need to see the alderman. Got a feeling he just might open the gate for me. trying to learn something about the Wild Hunt.
Very interesting phenomenon. Like all mysterious things.
Willing to share what you know?
Well, I would be. Provided you found the notes of Morton Collis first. He devoted almost his entire life to researching the hunt. We could go into detail if you had his scribblings.
I found Morton Collis's notes.
So, let's see what you've learned.
Well, there are a few documented facts, but Collis notes the existence of plenty of myths and legends.
Very true. Where shall we start, then?
First and foremost, Collis studied the hunt's movement.
Oh, it's well known that the Wild Hunt moves north to south, never in the opposite direction.
That's what I remember, and Collis's research confirms it. I'm just having trouble understanding why that is.
The retinue's trajectory brings it into our world at the North Pole. Thus, once here, the wraiths can only move south.
Collis claims the hunt's appearance can be predicted by observing the Orcan Nebula.
And eclipses affect how often it appears. In any case, it arrives on the winter solstice, though not necessarily every year.
Collis calculated that the hunt slips into our world in those years when the nebula is in the eastern sky. When I pursued the hunt, I passed through many abandoned villages.
Well, the Wild Hunt abducts young people.
What for?
The wraiths might need workers, warriors, or meat.
Collis seems to favor the slave theory. What's the sorceress's take on the hunt?
The topic makes them uneasy. Since the Council and Conclave banned the use of mind spells, the Wild Hunt has been a taboo topic.
There's some link between mental spells and the cavalcade?
Both addle the brain. Anyone who has come in contact with the Wild Hunt has experienced mental instability that either takes the form of insanity or amnesia. You see, the wraiths emit a magnetic field that severely distorts perception and impedes brain functions.
People say the hunt's appearance is an omen of war.
In our times, wars are so frequent, we might even consider flights of honking geese as their harbinger. The hunt traverses our world in winter. Wars usually break out in spring, but only because rulers wish their soldiers to die in battle rather than of cold.
Let's summarize.
Based on his observations and calculations of the Wild Hunt's movements, Collis arrived at two equally important conclusions. The first was that the hunt is made up of knights who perished in various worlds and have reconvened as a retinue of vengeance. His second hypothesis states that an unknown, extremely powerful force multiplies wraiths, whose task is to travel between worlds in search of slaves. Both theories seem probable.
Each time someone runs into the hunt, the wraith's magnetic field causes their mind to descend into chaos. By inference, another meeting with the hunt and its field should reverse the effects of the first.
Perhaps. Someone who lost their memory or their mind on their first meeting with the hunt could recover either on the second meeting. But I'm afraid that's unproved. Anyone who has managed to escape the wraiths would rather die than meet them again.
So, you can lose or recover your memory by meeting the Wild Hunt.
Do you know something I don't?
I have amnesia, but my memory's been coming back since a certain event.
Since when?
Since I killed a spectre, the king of the Wild Hunt.
What's this? Clad in hues.
Aboard Scoia'tael waiting in ambush?
That's supposed to be a frog, to be honest.
Anyone order an exquisitely adorned goblet from you?
I get the occasional commission for tableware, sure. But what exactly are you talking about?
Saskia's goblet. Was that your handiwork?
That ugly bucket! Did you intend to offend me? Whoever made that thing should be whipped! I certainly hope Saskia orders her vessels for me next time.
If she gets a chance to order anything again.
Never finished telling you. I think I've heard of them. So, we were working at the farm, and one was sweat. Canary's dead. Fell in a cold sweat. Started sniffing intensely like a dog in a butcher shop.
Think you might have gone a bit too far with Stennis?
Mummy spent too much time pampering him, so he thought he could do anything he pleased. He got what he deserved. Maybe it'll all blow over, or maybe there'll be another war. History's like a coin that falls out of your pocket. You never know where it's gonna roll.
Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook insult, called king by some, thought that Adernians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Edern?
According to Henselt, Upper Edern is the ancient legacy of the Kedwenny crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighboring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Edern. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want.
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Eternians, Kedwenny, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Van de Grift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Edern at all. We decimated the dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwennies gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armor. Then Van de Grift himself entered the fray. Selkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Van de Grift killed Selkirk. A terrible death that sent the Adernian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kidweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Van de Grift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
You saw the Kidwenis cross the river?
From afar. I saw Van de Grift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ard Carrig. The Dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Adernian land, Van de Grift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Selkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kidweni arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Selkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontar the third day after the autumn equinox. Edirn had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Selkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You captured the Dunbanner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitors sent them to their deaths. Refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers. Killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunner, there were 7 Adernians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Did you see the duel between Selkirk and Van de Grift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ard Carrig. Selkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Selkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Van de Grift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Selkirk with that new sword.
Van de Grift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake of Selkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbles something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhart claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Van de Grift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
I need to get inside the Harpy lair.
No chance.
I know all about the Harpies. They steal dreams, collect them. I found one, but it proved too weak for our purposes. I need a stronger one. So I'm asking you nicely, open the damn gate.
Listen, Witcher. I want Saskia to recover, I do. But don't ask me to turn this town into a circus just before we battle Henselt. My grandfather locked that gate for a good reason. Imagine if we could all go in there to look at those dreams. Dwarves, peasants, their scoia'tael, Adernian nobles even. All seeing the desires of others. Terrifying. It would be the end of Vergen. What's more, legend has it the oldest stolen dreams can become reality. And I don't want nightmares stalking Vergen's back alleyways come nightfall.
Open it. I'll make it quick.
Stop pissing me off. You're acting like a drunk suitor. No means no.
You know, don't know if I should mention this, but the dream I found belongs to you.
What are you talking about?
It's an embarrassing affliction, I imagine. Hell, even something of a political liability in your case. Some might even call you a freak. You're the alderman. An ages-old tradition is vested in you. On top of that, you now lead the preparations for Vergen's defense.
You wouldn't dare.
Imagine your ancestors carved in stone. Condemnation, not pride on their bearded faces. Who knows? Maybe you'd keep your office, but you'd be the talk of the town for ages. And your nephew? Poor kid.
I'll open the gate. I promised Scalen's mother I'd be sober as a judge to the end of my days, and I aim to keep my word. I don't give a damn about ages-old traditions and piss on loose talk. But you're right. I cannot compromise Vergen's morale. You must bury this thing. The secret dies with you, never to be spoken aloud. Understand?
I do. Thanks, Cecil, and good luck staying sober.
Don't try anything.
I got a serious career proposal yesterday.
One of your best.
What?
Greetings.
The head of a king. Take it to Sheila. You know where. She'll give you coin and further orders.
Heavy. How am I supposed to carry it through the forest? I won't be able to draw my sword.
You'll go unarmed, in common clothes. Try to sneak through unnoticed, but if anyone asks, you'll bring in the witch some sausages.
You can see it a mile away, and it stinks of vinegar. I'll have to find a thick sack.
Go on, quit complaining. There's no time.
Esed mahon, tal estein pedon, elornet eleorien, feredein mahon, hal daumas. By the gods, they're closer and closer. They'll not catch me. To the witch. They'll not find it there, over my dead body, horsesons. You'll never fathom Master Baltimore's secrets. It's not far now.
You're as beautiful as an elf, my lady.
Come to me, my hero. Let's fuck in the barn.
Ah, the luck. To think I wanted to play dice with the others.
Call them too. It'll be lovely.